Most people aren't afraid of the dark itself. What they're really afraid of are the sounds that come with it. A window shaking when there's no wind outside, footsteps in an empty hallway, and worst of all, hearing your name when you know for a fact that you're alone. In a quiet little town in Ohio called Black Ridge, there was an old rental house sitting at 58 Hollow Pine Lane. It was the kind of place that felt forgotten. The roads were cracked, the houses were spaced far apart, and after sunset, the whole neighborhood went dead silent. Not peaceful silent, the kind of silent that makes you feel like something is waiting. That was the house Noah Carter moved into. He was around 30, worked remotely in IT, and wanted a fresh start away from the noise of the city. The rent was cheap, the house was bigger than anything else in the area, and it even had a small backyard. The only strange thing was the old basement under the kitchen. When the landlord handed him the keys, he gave him one warning. He said, "The basement is old. If you don't need to go down there, don't." He laughed it off. He figured it was just another creepy old house with bad plumbing and weak floorboards. For the first few days, everything felt normal. He worked during the day, watched Netflix at night, and went to sleep without thinking much about the place. Then, 1 week later, things changed. The first time it happened, Noah woke up at exactly 2:47 a.m. At first, he didn't even know what woke him. He just opened his eyes and lay there in the dark, listening. Then he heard it again, a soft, hollow sound. Knock, knock, knock. It didn't sound like it was coming from the front door. It sounded lower, like someone was tapping from beneath the floorboards. He sat up in bed and listened harder. The sound was coming from the basement. Noah told himself it was just the house settling, old wood, pipes, nothing unusual. Eventually, he laid back down, but just as he closed his eyes, he heard something else. A whisper, very faint, very low, almost too quiet to be real. Noah. His eyes snapped open. The room was completely still. No movement, no sound, nothing. He stayed awake for a long time after that, but eventually convinced himself he must have imagined it. The next night, it happened again, 2:47 a.m. This time, the knocking was louder, closer, more deliberate. Knock, knock, knock. Noah got out of bed and stepped into the dark hallway. The house was freezing, not normal cold, unnatural cold. The only light came from the faint glow of the refrigerator in the kitchen. He followed the sound until he reached the small basement door tucked into the floor near the pantry. It was shut, but the knocking was definitely coming from the other side. Noah just stood there, staring at it. His chest felt tight. Every instinct in his body told him not to touch that door. Then suddenly, the knocking stopped, and the silence that followed felt worse. He backed away and returned to bed, angry at himself for being scared. By morning, he felt stupid, embarrassed even. It was just a basement, just a noise. So he made a decision. If it happened again, he was going to open the door. That was his first mistake. On the third night, Noah didn't wake up because of knocking. He woke up because someone said his name, clear, slow, and coming from directly below him. Noah. He froze. A few seconds later, it came again. Noah. This wasn't a dream. He was fully awake. His heart started pounding so hard he could hear it in his ears. The room was dead quiet, but from somewhere beneath the floor, something was calling him. This time, he grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, and slowly made his way to the kitchen. He stopped in front of the basement door. The gap beneath it was black, completely black. No light, no movement, just cold air seeping out from underneath like the house itself was breathing. He crouched down and held his ear near the wood. At first, Nothing. Then, suddenly, a breath, right on the other side, close enough to make his entire body lock up, and then a whisper.